as one of the most picked or banned heroes, but to see him have a massive fall off now just blows my mind.
Yeah, and is that because of the vitality changes, do you think, or just because
No.
like recently he got buffed, or at least like he gets extra melee damage per boon increased, and also his ultimate got better. But bro, is
Change to something, I can't remember what it was. It had to do with like his gun damage, and his gun damage was like really strong because you pin someone to the wall. You obviously melee them, but you also get like crazy point blank damage. Plus you have like K dash, so you can like shoot even quicker. You would do a lot of gun damage, but they've kind of like tweaked that and nerfed it quite a bit. Though they've increased, I believe it's like spirit damage overall, so you can kind of be. I've been hearing like a late game beast as a spirit Abrams, though I don't know if we ever get to that point in these games, and especially when it comes to organized games, if it works out.
Yeah. Tat Gecko, thank you for the 10 gifted, by the way. We see you there in chat. Appreciate you. So we've got the Ivy and Mirage bands basically run back yet again. Neither team want to do this, and yeah, this is looking unbelievably familiar. With the Celeste locked in straight away, and we know how melee creeps like to respond to this. So we'll probably see them try and go for the silver, but yeah, I'm starting to see the Apollo. The Apollo first pick from melee creeps yet again. This will be 3 games running.
Lucky to have someone like
Yeah, lock it in.
I kind of have a feeling that maybe they try to go Viscous, but I faintly remember seeing Scout try to play it, and it wasn't as good.
Right, it won't be a. Will they try and run? Try and get the Kelvin early here if they're concerned about a ban.
And the sword of Saint
No.
Honestly, they could pick it as their third to avoid it on the turn being banned away, but I don't want to say, or honestly, I don't want to see them have to rely on a Kelvin to win a game. I want to see them be able to play like some different things.
Good against
I mean, it was
Viscous again.
possible.
This pesky spirit Viscous, man.
They went silver as the third pick last time for melee creep, so
They did.
there's a world where we could see it happen. And for Florman, stick with what's working, honestly. Like,
Yeah, like,
there's a world they could have won the first game without the bug happening.
Oh, they can't even fight for Geist here either. That's just going to get taken away by DMB again, which really started. Like the Celeste, like Florman had managed to secure the Celeste and Geist that looks so good there in game number 2. Melee creeps, do they think about a more durable frontline here?
You pointed out, I'm going to come back to your question in a second, because you pointed out something before we started this whole thing off. The fact
Kelvin
that Florman
Reliance.
picked Ivy, Silver, Warden, and was there a third one? Ivy,
the
Silver,
McGinnis.
Warden every single game
McGinnis.
against melee creeps. In the games they won, they had McGinnis.
Yeah.
And they're doing it again here with Celeste, Viscous, Geist. They played in every single one of the series, or every single one of the matches so far. And it's working. You're like, why fix it? You're forcing melee creeps to be the one to react to you and change things up if they want to have a chance to shut you down.
Yeah.
No
and
pocket
Kelvin.
was brave.
No, very brave, especially when with Kelvin. They banned the Mina instead. Why are they valuing the Mina ban over Pocket?
I think they're going to pick Pocket because Mina kind of shreds Pocket.
Oh, they are first pick this time. That's
Yeah.
true. Huh.
I think we might see them take Pocket.
It's a good
here.
call.
There's no way you leave Pocket open.
Oh, geez, that's a bit scary for Lady Geist, isn't it? Jeez, Pocket's a real problem for her. Okay,
good.
Calico. Okay.
Okay. So maybe they're trying to force Florman to build in to go for Pocket, because I was like, Ido Pocket.
What is the
Kinda
punish
sick to get
then?
Callback.
What is the punish then for a Pocket from Florman?
If melee creeps pick Pocket, you mean?
What if Florman picks Pocket? Is there a way to
I
make
mean-
punish this? Because they're almost like trying to lead them into it.
I almost wanted to say like GT, because GT is such a good counter to Pocket, because
Yeah.
you just blow him up with your charge shots. That I don't think we're gonna see a GT picked up. And maybe Florman is not going to fall into that trap of going for a Pocket here against melee creeps.
All right, here's the Billy. So again, that really powerful, tanky front line has been picked up, and Florman have that hyper mobility that Silver offers. So it's going to be Ido on something different this time around. Might get the Apollo. Might get something else. But they're going back to the Graves. And again, we saw the build from melee creeps now, the Deadhead build. I don't think the patch change that occurred today doesn't actually...
It changed something on her. Her grasping hands are 2. It no longer spawns 2 zombies, it spawns 1.
Yeah, it
Which
didn't
is probably
change her 3 at all though. So
Yeah.
like that, you can still like try and build like ricochet split shot with like debuffs or like on hits with that. So we have double healer, Kelvin and Dynamo. Calico picked up here by Melee Creeps instead. So we are sort of veering in a different direction. But yeah, once again, we're going to have like Paige be locked in. Paige looked really good in that previous game for Floorman.
Comp looks familiar for Floorman. -1. So I'm expecting Ido to be on Calico, just because I think people were saying Calico was weak, and then he played it before she got changed, and he still was able to get wins on it. So
yes.
I think he likes to play here and kind of do a similar style to what we're going to see at AVG. Honestly, I'm not, for some reason, I'm just not a big fan of the Dynamo.
Why was the Dynamo pilled? Yeah.
It was very impactful in the beginning of the game from this last match. If you think about him and John together, like he was just in their face the whole time, punishing them. But past that, like the singularities weren't really affected because I think Floorman just played so well around it. And there's a reason we didn't see Dynamo pick too often in Night Shift because of that fact. But the Graves, I was hearing rumors of like a Mercurial Magnum, and there was another item I can't remember that was a part of that actually did a lot of damage for Graves. But I just can't remember for the life of me.
Okay. I mean, so like more of a hybrid in like your deadheads and your like M1 damage kind of thing.
You do like a lot. You can do a lot with Mercurial because you're stealing the weapon damage you need to do damage, and you're also like weakening your opponent. But also Mercurial, I think, gives you extra spirit damage on top of your M1 as well.
Yeah, but it's based on your spirit power. It's like it's like a 25% of your spirit power. I think it's added onto your base bullet damage. I want to say.
Ready to wipe your delay in the new season. Activate 50% off and dominate 0 hour with exit lag on. Sub now for half the price.
After having their throne of 18 night shifts consecutively taken away from them, but they're here to ascend once more. And Floorman would have a pretty short time in the sun were that to be the case. But if that last game is anything to go by, Floorman are more than ready to defend their title.
Okay, so we do get Ido on the Calico. Everything else is going to be pretty much the same here for Melee Creeps, but do going for the swap. And of course, Floorman, since they don't have Calico anymore, ABG going to be back on the silver. I think this is one switch up though. Did we have a Billy in the first game of the series? I didn't actually take note of that, so I can't remember. Oh, we have a channel set up for that, I can see.
Yeah,
oh,
we do. We have the draft screen. Yeah, we did. In that first game, we had
ABG didn't perform
on Billy.
too well.
Yep.
He was 29k souls, 4, 6, and 11, and Lee was at 35,000 souls at 6, 6, and 7. But of course, we had John at 48,000 souls, just being a massive factor in that victory.
Yeah, he was very far ahead for that point of the game. Didn't end up going that long in the end. So we have the silver here under some. The damage came out of absolutely nowhere. Leaping Slash will do that to you. And looks like a sigil that detonated. So you've got to fear Melee Creeps here between Calico and Apollo. They can. It's hard to trade against them. They can sort of leap at you and do large amounts of damage in a very short window. So you've got to be mindful of your positioning against this comp. Especially with that Leaping Slash base damage being increased.
Yeah, I think for Floorman to get a kill, you gotta depend on that bola. Just completely limit their mobility the best you can. But then again, you have to worry about the repost. But it's also a mirror from last game. We talked about how Saya was able to push this lane so hard with McGinnis and with I can't remember who his partner was actually. I thought it was Du, but either way, on the other side of the map, it's an exact mirror yet again. The Paige Billy just getting very aggressive on the right hand side. They get a kill right off the bat over onto I believe the Saya. So they're already getting some like strong control here in not only the right lane and the left lane now.
Yeah, I mean the left lane collapsed entirely. That's not good at all. As the dust settles, it's Rocker's the only one standing. Again, that Billy Page lane is good against anyone, but even the sustain, I guess, of Sire is not enough. I suppose he's too early in the game to have like enough points into Frost Grenade to really, give the Graves like a fighting chance in that lane, but that's not good. Both side lanes, Melee Creeps are really struggling in, and in mid, Floorman are kind of giving it up anyway because we've seen AVG rotating out of like lane quite frequently. Goober also has rotated to the left-hand side now to keep that pressure up. Floorman definitely exuding confidence.
Yeah, and Scout, he went for another early gank on the right-hand side. So again, giving John some early farm. You can see he's at 2.5 compared to the 1.7 of his lane mate. And AVG just gonna go for some box running. So it seems like both teams kind of like have set on what they want to do here. Get Rocker fed and get John fed for each respective team. And honestly, it worked really well in the last game. Rocker was able to punish Scout time and time again just by pretty much just jumping into him, hitting with every ability. It's about how it kind of plays out and how both teams kind of adapt here. More importantly for melee creeps, how are they going to adapt? You got to look towards Ido and Do in particular. I guess Ido, Do, and Saya, because they're all playing some different heroes here in this game that they played earlier on, except Ido on the Calico, obviously.
Light Eater, of course, going to trigger. We're going to throw some of these advanced stacks in here to try and trade out, but it's looking a little uncomfortable here in lane for melee creeps. They just don't want to fully commit. They tend to just flit outside of your effective range for as long as they possibly can. Just like a leaping slash here for Ido. Want to go for after AVG, but coincide the daggers there. You've got to respect that. The Mystic Burst is going to be pretty crucial here for trading damage back if you are due. And here's the right side of the lane. Now, this is what Saya kind of has to do. Yeah. But again, he has to. Like, it's not a good lane. Like, it's rare to see a Kelvin lane that just sort of doesn't win, but they are in a lot of pressure against this classic Page Billy.
And with the high velocity rounds too, it makes it a lot easier to hit these shots so he can play on top of his ice path and just harass, you know, towards the backhand side. So it's not really going to have a lot of sustain in this lane. They don't really have healing, right? They have preventive damage. It's almost 6 a.m. It's like 5 a.m. here. It's not more so healing as what the side of melee creeps have in that lane. Preventative. There we go.
Preventative. Yeah, we just saw the Venator and Viscus get Dynamo, get booted out of mid. Okay, John really wants to try and come back in, trying to gut shot there for a stun. I respect it, but he wasn't born yesterday. Melee creeps honestly like struggling here in the early game. You're going bye-bye, Fishcake, if you linger any longer than that. Arctic Beam has to be used by Saya to try and dissuade any sort of pursuit. Now though, low as League is, it seems like Saya's feeling like there's an opportunity here, but his lane partner is very, very low. The drift across from John has been spotted out here by DMB, so there's no element of surprise for a potential gank on the right lane.
He did get vitality buff though, so a big win I'd say for John in this lane. Gives him extra sustain, gives him extra, I guess, tankiness in this lane too, even though he does have Scout to help assist him. But he's also at 4.3. He has zero Domini up. But look at the side of Florman. Every player on their side has ultimates. Melee creeps, only one. It's a pretty big lead so far here for Florman, and honestly, they have a pretty big window right now to look for fights.
They're winning all of their lanes, Jason. There's no other way of putting it. It's been a very difficult early game indeed. Well, that was a frost grenade there, like thrown. League able to get short of it. Can this Kelvin Graves lane hold up under this level of scrutiny? Bash down on Saya. He's able to get clear, of course, and now he's in a position to be pretty spammy about that frost grenade. So this is where maybe his right hand lane can start to sustain through this pressure.
I'm gonna hit you with a fact here, Uber, that I didn't know about until I think it was last week. So the buffs that spawn, the first set you get, the second set has to be the other two buffs. You can't get like repeating buffs. And then after that set, so on set 3, it's randomized, and then set 4, it's the 2 buffs that didn't get chosen in 3. So you can kind of predict what's going to be coming up and where you want to put the emphasis on those second rounds of buffs.
Huh. But you don't know where they will spawn, right?
No, you don't know where.
Out. Yeah.
But you know it's going to be like, for instance, if it's like mobility and gun first, you're going to get vitality and casting next. So maybe you want to put the extra emphasis because like those 2 buffs are more valuable to your team than moving and gun or movement and gun.
So you kind of know if you want to sit out of a buff rotation. Interesting. Oh, damn, that's some nice pressure here going on to Rocker. Here we go. Yeah, Eternal Sun made use of. Rocker is down, and well, that Guardian is also going to suffer here. Left side of that going quite well for melee creeps all of a sudden. John, though, still getting his ass beat in mid. He's getting his cheese clapped.
Yeah, I mean, he's at 6k. He's still up on decent farm, but every time you're dead means you're not getting farm for yourself. I mean, Scout kind of needs to take it, though he's on 1 HP. I'm not sure exactly where he is. Well, he's back at farm. I know where he is now. But the sole lead that we did have, it's not as big anymore as we did have Waves finally come in, and then of course some tier 1 camps being taken. It's only a 1k difference now.
The mid Guardian matters. Picked up by melee creeps. So probably a big piece of why John is enjoying a nice little soul lead at the moment. He's definitely getting priority, of course, over the Dynamo, as you'd expect. League down on the right-hand side of the map here. Floorman really trying to dig deep and extend for that Guardian because they probably feel the pinch on the other side of the map. Melee creeps in the last 2 minutes have been able to find some really important edges. And if you look over towards the left, you can see just how low that Guardian is. And I don't know what the plan is here for Rocker. Wants to try and come forward, but this Apollo Calico lane is becoming pretty troublesome.
And not only that, the fact that I think Melee Creeps are also putting extra emphasis on this right lane to keep League from getting out of control like it was last game. It's forced him to rotate like in towards middle, as you see now. It's forced him to kind of play around the map a little bit more, not necessarily be so safe in the farm that he's going to get. But also at the same time, imagine that Florman did allow him to go for this rotate so he can continue to build up that front line that they need to deal with John. I think more importantly, League needs to be able to survive being in a frozen shelter. If he can force outside to use that and stay alive in the shelter, it's such a big win for Florman in these skirmishes that they can easily take the series.
Florman here going to be undercutting this wave on the right to secure a Guardian pickup. This now puts them into the lead, but again, it is just a exchange of Guardians, really. They are down to 1 Guardian, whereas Melee Creeps still have 2 in play. You can see now Do is shoving this left side of the map. This ideally to try and draw Florman back as they're starting to spend some time in their neutral camps on the left side of the map. John is at 9.1k, so doing well, progressing nicely, but you know, DMB is staying in step. So both of the key gun carries here on the map are getting what they need at this stage of the game.
Funny thing is, Melee Creeps, they first picked Apollo, but in the first game that they won, Do was on Mina, and they ended up banning Mina on their second round of bans. So I think they were maybe expecting Florman to go towards that route instead, but I'm not sure if they wanted to actually commit, excuse me, for another Mina yet again. League getting dove a bit here by Ido and Co. Q comes in and he's kind of by himself, uses the Rising Ram to escape, only into the Return to Shadows out of Ido, and he's gonna fall. And oh my god, he wanted the orbs! He wanted the bag!
He's going to be able to get it despite the captivating read because there wasn't really anything behind that. It was just Page and a Viscous, the latter who still gets run down by Fishcake. And a decent spot here close to AK. And now mid really gets cracked open. Look how quickly Melee Creeps, by the way, drift over towards this left side of the map. They do see AVG perhaps lingering within their purview. And this is buffs are up, by the way. So this is obviously a great opportunity to contest that. Also snatch up the orb, the urn for yourself. 10 minutes, obviously a big inflection point in tempo in this game.
Yeah, I mean, it's only a 3k earn. It's not necessarily the biggest of wins if you dunk this. Well, 3.6. And it's more about the macro that you lose here and the decisions by the opposing side. Florman, and you can see they're still overloaded on the left-hand side with a 2-to-1 advantage. I mean, they can take down that Guardian. Most likely will be taken down in a second, but if they lose a player here like League in middle, it opens up opportunities for them to go for a dunk. And actually, Sai might be just running straight for the dunk here. You can see John's kind of lured him back towards the urn, turn him. Meantime, you see AVG going for a skirmish here up against Do, and Saya, he's going to make the dunk without any contest here. So overall, a pretty big win, but that Walker is taking damage, and I think Goober's just acting as like a human turret for them to let them know when they're coming back in.
Yeah, a human ward, right? Spots them out. And, Walker going down to about half hit. Bloody nice parry. Ido is going to get absolutely rolled. Beautifully done there by DMB. But now John, next challenger is going to step up here. I'd still be scared. Iridomini was made use of. Oh, no. There it is. Last bolt will get the job done. Walker still lives. DMB brought down. Some important souls going to John.
Yeah, but the singularity...
Yeah.
It's like a wet fart, just absolutely not working out for them.
They kind of have
That's a big
huh?
ultimate being down. What's up?
I mean, they kind of have been over the course of the last couple of maps here for Scout. And again, to be fair, like when you have like Cube Rescue Beam, you have like a lot of ways to like pull people out of that. It does feel like Florman have been pretty invested in like neutralizing the potential effectiveness of that Dynamo ult.
I mean, to be fair, they killed him anyways, and the Walker didn't die, so it's not that big of a deal. But I think this is where, like, with the way Florman has been playing around it late game, I don't think you're going to get a guaranteed 2, 3, 4-man ultimate. I think those are not going to happen that often.
Dude, they're too mobile.
Yeah, and I think the power of Dynamo is going to be basically on getting these easy kills onto 1, maybe 2 players in this like stage of the game, so you can snowball that into more. And that's a chain game that's not going to save League. Dude just takes him down with a flawless advance, and this Walker, could they actually take it? They have so many players here for Melee Creeps to actually take this Walker down.
Yeah, there's only the Sylphie here to stop this. This Walker is going to die. That is crazy. DMB's trying to do the same on the right side of the map. I think chasing John obviously away. That Walker had already been taken down, so a little bit scary for the Venator. But this is starting to become a nice little lead. A tiny little 6k here for Melee Creeps picked up. They had no push on the right side. Definitely losing out in lane pressure there. And that's owing to, DMB soaking up like 15k worth of souls and being someone who's more than happy to fight John like player to player whenever.
I heard a knockdown go down. I mean, so DMB, like, he keeps the pressure on, like you said, kind of keeping John in check, which is, I mean, it's kind of like a reversal. Like, Melee Creeps did a great job of punishing League and not allowing him to get out of control. Foreman have done a great job yet again of not allowing John to get out of control. So, like, both teams are, honestly, I think it's like the most even matchup we have in Deadlock right now is Melee Creeps versus Foreman. It is so close every single time that they're adapting, like, mid-game, mid-drafts to kind of counter each other and figure out what went wrong with the last game. It's such a hard ability to have to figure out what went wrong in a game in such a tight turnaround of match 1, match 2.
Scout gets caught here though. Did not have Singularity available to them anyway. That mid Guardian is going to suffer some extreme scrutiny. Can Melee Creeps kick Foreman off this? Foreman are expecting something here from Melee Creeps. Could be the Calico. But it's just, yeah, I don't know, Calico Dynamo in mid. Don't know why they seem to respect that so much. John trying to get active here. Eventually, the aforementioned Calico goes down, but there's enough time here for Scout to return alongside this Kelvin. All right, Apollo, caught in the chain gang now. This is dangerous. League has been getting farmed. It isn't very tanky just yet. The Essence Bomb also is going to catch on. Big damage. This is very disruptive for you to try and play through if you're the Apollo. That Sigil, though, is going to at least force the Billy back. But League is healthy enough to continue this pursuit.
Really good job by Xeno there. Good knockdown, good rallying charge as well to just completely eliminate any chance of Dude to go for a chase. The Rocker's fallen, and I believe it's on the left side of the map. I think he died to Fishcake, if I'm not mistaken, which is a huge victory for Fishcake, to be fair. He's now got a 2K lead, and more importantly, keeps Rocker away from farming.
I kind of
We're
want
going
to
to hit the urn, and this is for sure where the next battle is going to break out.
I just want to see Fishcake's build, see if we're going sort of more for that Deadhead direction again. Okay, we're fighting for these sinners around the urn pickup location. Melee Creeps definitely feel like they have the power play right now. And after the last couple of moments, you can hardly blame them. Iridomi at the ready, a Frozen Shelter also at the ready. Yes, finally does get used. I was concerned about Sire, and he's struggling inside that shelter, but AVG was caught in there with him. That's what you want to see. A 3v1 created in that locality, and there was nothing that the Silver could do.
Uh-oh. They're so far ahead. They're holding off farming. Okay, they're just, I think they might just pick it up. They're trying to hold off farming right now to get this to be a neutral turn. And if they pick it up right now, it's going to be a guaranteed comeback for Floorman, and they don't want that. Very heads up play.
But they want Floorman to farm in order to catch up here. Is that enough for them? Okay, well, now there's a fight over it because they've held off on it, but that's probably fine for Melee Creeps. They do love fighting over these, smaller areas. They want to fight around objectives. Their comp excels at it. And away we go. Goober does not fancy catching out of this smoke. Oh, still in place, by the way. Now picked up by League.
Oh, Scout, you're killing me with this, right? You're killing me!
Another Singularity make use of, but it felt like more like the panic variety. Still, Xeno was going to be traded out in response. So there's both teams losing supports. And yes, that is a very comeback urn looking position for Floormen. And a guaranteed urn turn in as a result.
To say they're going to lose a Walker for this too. So that was like the worst case scenario. They don't pick up the urn because they're waiting. They let the urn get taken away. They're going to lose a Walker, but smartly enough, they push a Walker themselves to kind of equalize things. And maybe actually they can defend this left-hand side because we can see Item and Scout going to be coming in very quickly. And they do, just in the nick of time, keep it alive. So they actually prevent the punishment from going really out of hand. And they're still sporting about a 10K lead right now for Melee Creeps. I mean, John's on fire, Fishcake's on fire, and so is Do. And in that last little skirmish that we saw, Do did a great job of just being really annoying to Xeno. Xeno was left alone in the back lines. He was just constantly harassing with the flawless advances. He had the exchange up.
I know, Silence Wave. Silence Wave, exactly, yeah. And that's what we're talking about. Melee Creeps were stacking, 3 Silence Waves against this comp because as slippery as it is, it doesn't do anything if they are silenced down and have access to those abilities. The air is thick with Deadheads, and Melee Creeps here kind of baiting a situation where they give up an urn that was going to have a, be deep in enemy territory for a turn in, and they get to trade a Walker for it. They're going to lose that now, by the way, on this left-hand side.
They're going to lose mid-boss, though.
Yeah, mid-boss, exactly. So now they've set things up so that Floormen need to lose mid-boss in order to take this Walker. Okay.
What do they have?
This is Melee Creeps macro gameplay shining through again.
I don't have anything to contest. You can see them not even going for it here. I think a Walker trade for mid-boss, definitely worth it. They're not quite the 10K lead anymore, but with waves crashing on the left and right lane. But it's so much jungle to take as well. I think this is more of like an advantageous take, not necessarily destined to make a push out of it, but it gives them so much more control now that they force Foreman to really respect them. And be very careful about peeking out of their base to farm.
It's also the implied soul difference that having rejuve buff gives, right? So
The implications.
yeah, so in theory, it's more than a 9k soul lead because of the difference. Like, how much soul is this rejuve buff worth for melee creeps? Probably quite a significant amount. So, yeah, bye. Oh, the cute rescue beam. Love to see it. That Return to Shadows would have done DMB in. A frontline though for Florman.
Prepared for this.
Not yet in this game looking quite durable enough. Whereas John and Fishcake are having a great time. They are getting very fed. Now, obviously, you make use of this rejuve buff to hit this left side walker if you're melee creeps. Easy enough. Bookworm. Force advance here for the mobility. Dude does not want to fully commit to this fight. Good damage on AVG though, and this lane pressure is going to start to build. I don't see melee creeps going anywhere in a hurry here.
Such a big difference this match compared to last, considering I want to say the 3 carries for melee creeps are just on fire and looking so much stronger in this game compared to prior. DB's definitely had a tough time though with all these silence waves. I think we have 2 picked up right now, 1 for Ida, 1 for Do. It's very frustrating, very difficult for him to pull off a swap that he pretty much has to invest into Dispel Magic if he's not building it already, if he wants to have that guaranteed swap come off. Or he needs to hope that he can survive long enough to actually throw it down.
Yeah, doesn't have it yet, of course. No, pretty standard stuff, right? Spirit Resilience, Radiant Regeneration. All standard stuff. Watch out, this Apollo clearly wants to fight. Oh, Dynamo in your area. Sticking around for a kinetic and then backing out. This Walker's still being defended, so all things considered, Florman doing a pretty good job of keeping that objective up. But in the meantime, melee creeps are taking a lot of neutral camps here, just knowing they are going to be able to do so unfettered for the next little while. And Urn has, you know, spawned up, buffs active. And what is Rocket doing? Rocket's trying to do some split pushing here. They're going to run into John pretty quickly, who is much stronger than they are. Light Drain active here, but his advances are hitting pretty hard, and running into that kinetic is a little bit scary. Rescue Beam has to be used to pull DMB out of the line of fire.
Bro, this is like old school Deadlock, because there was a point we saw like double rescue beams being picked up, and I want to say this is in the Fight Night era as well.
Yep.
They have 1 on Goober, 1 on Xeno, and every time they get a catch, like you saw before, they got a hyperline on the DMB. Goober rescue beams him away. They had a catch on DMB there. Xeno rescue beams him away. They're making it so difficult to actually turn these like little advantages that they get for melee creeps into actual kills. So you really have to give credit to I think Xeno and Goober in particular, preventing a lot of kills and preventing a lot of situations that could easily turn into big man advantages for melee creeps to take objectives.
And even without that, like I said, you've got like a Celeste, you've got Billy, you've got a comp that's pretty good at evading in general. And we're going to have to see that from DMB right here, because they were pretty deep within the enemy territory. It's the Arctic Beam that would slow them down otherwise. They've got themselves out of trouble for now, but it gets harder and harder to defend this Walker when you get yourself out of position because you're worried about getting picked off here. Sun! What are you doing? Unfortunate. We're back, of course. Rejuve credit being made use of, and that ultimate's been refunded, so that's nice. Sun will be usable yet again. Now we are going to get this Walker. Seems like a fair trade. Rejuve is about to run out, so you're more than happy to give up your life. I get excited about nothing. Frozen Shelter here active. Scout wants to die now if it's going to be at all. Rejuve is just about to expire, but Florman maybe take this fight or forced into this fight a little too early.
Really smart use of the Rejuve there for melee creeps. They realized they had, what, like 30 seconds left. They got the Urn turn in, and they transitioned into a Walker take, knowing they had 3 Rejuves to play around with. And now they're sporting, you know, getting close to a 30k lead here. This is probably one of the biggest leads we've actually had in this series if the game wasn't already over at that point. Take a look at some of these items. John's got Glass Cannon. I think it's a big switch up from his last game. I don't remember if he had it exactly, but he definitely wasn't 5 and 2 at 31k souls and able to get stacks on it.
Yes, this is another, you know, a game where John is able to play from ahead. And I'll say it came off a pretty difficult start. If you remember, he and Scout were getting pummeled in that mid lane quite consistently. John has been able to really get back to the game. Fishcake's been benefiting from most of the side lane farm, I thought, but we have seen John on that right-hand side of the map a little bit. Fishcake's going to now go and get some. So yeah, despite that exchange working out, the Walker finally being taken, waves are pushing against melee creeps, so there needs to be some housekeeping done here. 2 minutes until buffs and about that long until mid-boss.
As you were talking about Fishcake here, he just got Refresher.
Okay.
So whether or not they use it to split push or they use it to just force a fight, you can't really like fight into that many zombies. I think it's like 4 zombies at a time if you double Borrow Decree.
Yeah.
He doesn't have Lightning Scroll just yet, but he has Refresher, and he has those Echo Shard on the Deadheads. Like, there's a lot of damage coming out of him, and Florman can't really push into that. They have to kind of like bait it out and back away, and we'll speak of baiting, they're trying to actually force a fight here against melee creeps right in the mid lane.
Frozen Shelter is the catch good. It looks like there's no one actually in here with Sire. Still though, can force some cooldowns out of DMB, who does not have Soul Exchange quite yet. It's almost available. Shelter comes down. Soul Exchange now active for DMB, just in the nick of time that's become available, and they don't have the opportunity to make use of it. Could have been silence, could have been something.
Welcome to Wix Harmony. Take the speed of AI and pixel level control to go from words into a full website that's entirely yours to shape.
You're
Need a new
retarded.
page, section, or a restyle? Ask Aria, your personal AI agent. And boom.
Yeah, you're
there
done.
it is.
You're actually done for the rest of the night.
Between
Like, stop
generating
talking.
and doing it yourself. This is
Fucking
the new way to
D-John.
create Wix Harmony.
Xeno got in the way, so he cubed Xeno instead. I think he was trying to cube Rescue Beam, rock her out of that one.
I
think
did
he
wonder
probably
why,
would've survived
yeah,
too.
Xeno was so healthy. I wasn't sure why they were getting cubed. Well, here we go. Free Sinners now.
-4.
Yeah, fuck that bitch.
Well, I guess if it's not your sinner, I guess it doesn't matter as much, right? Kind of disrespectful. It's like buying a bottle of champagne and pouring it down the drain. And they do that in Switzerland. They do that in Sweden. You Swedes are messed up, man. I don't get
What,
you
like
all.
shame someone they do that?
No, they do it because they can. Like, they do it because it's just like I don't get it. Like, they just spend. It's just. It was a weird club anyway. I don't know. You Swedes though, you're all freaky. Here, mid boss. Soul Lead is billowing out of control. 25k. John is at 35k himself. He is large and in charge. I do not want to be fighting this Venator.
This is, I mean, you can't really push into this
Stop.
easy. A chain gang coming through.
At the Singularity.
Stop him from you. Actually, Warpstone's in the Singularity. They're on top of it. Huge coming out of Scout. Makes up for all those messed up ultimates before. And it gets him the 3 charges of the Rejuve.
Okay, does it make up? Oh, listen, that's beside the point. That looks pretty darn good there. Beautifully done. Oh, we love that rejuvenating Aurora Max. So you just run and heal. Xeno's going to be chased down now. League is going to come back in from a really awkward position. Just not involved in the fight whatsoever. We're knocking on the front door here. This should be enough. Melee creeps might have got themselves back onto the throne. A very short-lived window for Floormen. The Soul Lead is too much to deal with. There's still a walker up for melee creeps, and now they're catching people outside of the base. That is 55-second respawn timer for AVG. The base guardians are falling, and melee creeps know it's basically all done with the crying.
Shrines are gonna fall. League, what are you gonna do in a 1-on-6? It's gonna be like a 1-on-9
Yeah.
because the Rejuve's up. You have to let these one go. At least the first stage patron should allow the respawns to come through, and May the Creeps will give them another chance. Backing away, they have some side lanes to clean up. They have a lot of sinners on that left-hand side, though I will say keep Sai away from those.
Oh,
They're gonna get
hell
buff
no.
from. And a lot of farm. I mean, they are 50k ahead.
Am I doing a good
6,000 spending
job?
for Fish Cake. I don't even want to look at how much money everyone else has on the rest of May the Creeps to use right now.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, I'm curious to see just how much those translate into power spikes. To be honest with folks at home, there isn't really a way for Floormen to comfortably break back into this game. They've got to still deal with the sort of rejuve disparity. JonTron has like an average 12k soul lead over everybody on Floormen, which is, you know, accounting for almost half of their, you know, a third of their net worth in general. So yeah, it's getting to that point where you definitely don't need your healing rights anymore. Colossus. Okay, inhibitor instead. Okay, so we have inhibitor. We do not have ricochet, but still, like, you are still bouncing to another target with your attack. So still seems very worth it. That debuff is great. Even if you're not investing ultra heavily in trying to, you know, split that inhibitor effect across an enemy team, you're still
It's
going
like
to
a
be
win
devastating.
more item for them, because you could just buy more damage for Floormen, but then your damage is being nerfed, and they're just gonna like shut you down even more. I actually really like this pickup right now because you could go more damage, but if you just prevent them from doing more damage, can they really kill you? Especially if you start the rejuice for their minute and 40 seconds of time, you could just go for the finish, the final blow, the final nail in the coffin of Floormen's reign as the top NA team.
Yeah, inhibitor is such a nasty item in that regard. Reduce what's like a 30% damage, outgoing damage penalty. Devastating. Melee creeps here, slowly sauntering up to the throne that they only recently were forced to vacate last week. They are oozing confidence, and so they should. Patron about to go down here. And there's really not much the Floormen can do about it. They are too far ahead. Into the pit, though, Floormen go. They do not want to give this title up easily. Solid exchange made use of there. Oh my goodness. Okay, nice rallying charge. Actually interrupts the singularity. Scout dies. That's fine. Going to be spawning back on in here. And Melee Creeps should be able to still finish this game. Lead going down. DMB is traded out for Sire. Okay, Melee Creeps perhaps need to be a little bit careful here. Floormen really fighting doggedly for this. And now John is down. That's 84 seconds.
You need to stay inside the pit, though, to make sure they can't actually take this one down. It's invulnerable while you have two players there. You can see Zeno just trying to survive as long as he possibly can. But the last three players fall. The GGs are called out here, Mitch. And we do have the Kings returning to the throne once again as Melee Creeps come back here the next week, taking out Floormen 2-1.
You asked the question, Jason, coming into this game. Melee Creeps are used to being on top. How are they going to...
That was fucking disgusting. I'm not even trying to troll. I think that guy that's voice acting that boss has a voice act in fucking Path of Exiles too. Yeah. He sounds like the fucking dead lord from like the main boss. Well, it's going to okay. I can't confirm it, but I swear to God, it's the same thing. Because it won't give me like all the voice actors for all the bosses and shit. That nigga's cheating. Because the game no like Logie Bogie, so make it hard. Once you two go to bed. Do you have to re-level up this guy or no? I guess that's pretty cool.
I gotta do. Try running away now.
But it's fine. So,
Hank is in trouble in Furnace, and you alone have the power to save him.
No graves this game. Nice. Nice. That Lord of Dog. Shit.
Sorry, sucker. Very nice in Furnace. The flames will follow.
I just got I got an actual first real kill in a minute. 1 minute. That's nuts. Tried to fucking heavy melee me, got parried immediately and died.
And away we go.
Wait, how are you that weak? How are you that weak? What the fuck?
I get something better.
That nigga's cheating.
Try to keep up.
Nice, thank you.
Yeah, this takes me back to my misspent youth.
Ow.
Gotta run.
This nigga don't fly? That's insane. That's actually funny.
I've been working on a special cocktail.
That's actually, I'm sorry, dude. That is fucking disgusting.
Such blessings the king shall give. A blue walker is under attack.
I gotta bait out her ult so I can absolutely ult them.
They will grow to fear the fencer's blade.
Alright, that's fine though, because now we got her to use her ult, now she can't negate my ult. Now we go back in there, ult them, and we win. We're fine. Yo, let's go, let's go, let's...
Incinerating. Who's with me?
That is unfortunate as fuck.
I see Vivo.
King's strength will be yours.
Appreciate the follow. Yeah, always toxic. Viper's pregnant. That's crazy. That is actually a fucking wild ass fucking. That is funny as fuck. There's like a fucking little emoji that they have on Twitch, and it's like Viper and Latch, and it looks like Viper's pregnant. It looks like Viper and Latch anyway.
Praise on our enemies.
Yeah, I gotta shave that shit. Yeah, I thought so. Don't know how I didn't get that one. I don't actually need that though. Keep up. I said Bebop, next animal, but I'm retarded.
If they're covered in pitch, I got something for you.
That's actually crazy.
On the move.
I didn't get him either. I broke the one. That's fine.
Burning a path.
I don't know if we took that one middle either. That might have been just tragic. I did nothing. Kill her. Kill her. Kill her. Thank you. Let's kill him.
You have no idea what you're up against.
Ah, we need the minions to push.
Spirit urn is waiting
We're
to
not
be
taking that
claimed
shit.
anywhere. The Hidden King grants you a boon.
Yeah. What'd you say? A whole different sky. I thought there would be. That's pretty sick, actually. I thought it would be like that, but when you said it's not, I thought it was pretty cool because that means, yeah, that kind of is crazy as fuck though.
Can't let this money go to waste.
Gotta grind him now. Just got called out for having a unibrow on stream, dude. Fuck, man. That's why I usually do the hand cam, dude. Fuck. Oh yeah, that's dope. That would be nice to have. I thought I could hit him. If you can come back.
One, I think.
I don't know if we. Oh, I mean, they can. Hello.
Burn it down.
Oh my god. You were riding a bear yesterday? That's actually sick as fuck. That's gay.
Let's go.
get there. Couldn't get there.
The spirit urn is waiting to be claimed.
So long as you don't burn down my shop, we're all good.
I see the ghost.
Try to keep up.
They destroyed the Guardian on Earth.
Got to run.
I shot. Couldn't. Got the walker though. I'll take it.
一人ずつ順番にな。
No, I can pretty much. As long as. Yeah, I'll go that up there. Should I just get back to the land? Should be able to get back to it. This one. Okay, silver skull to it too.
Walker is under attack.
I had no clue what was going on.
I see Bebop.
Took out Dynamo. Let's go. Took him out. Took out Silver. Gets easier every time. Don't want to be walking into an ambush. I'll stun him. I got bad news.
Get him. No. Jesus.
Initiated. Sorry, sucker. Let's see who's still standing. Got it, people. You're not ready to fight someone like me.
Broadway is under attack.
I see someone appreciates fine craftsmanship. You see that shit? Someone order a cocktail?
Headed to green.
Once this goes off, all they can do is burn.
I see 7.
And away we go. Turn them to ashes.
Your rivals are all dead.
I need to go by. But at the same time, they're just feeding me.
Attack middle.
Let's go mid.
On the move.
Let's go mid.
I have 2.5K and I'm fucking unsecured.
So long as you don't burn down my shop, we're all good.
The Rejuvenator is descending.
Man, you should have gotten the melee pocket. You would have healed.
Soldier is here.
On the move.
Spirit jar is here.
A Green Walker is under attack. Blessing of the hidden king.
The Yamato.
I see 7.
They lead the urn.
Yeah, I mean, like. Oh, we just lost this. No,
They destroyed the Walker on Greenwich.
it's fine. And In reality, it's not the worst thing that could happen.
Your humility is noted, Pocket, but you deserve a claim for your
I don't think
help.
it's game calling time out. Definitely think it's close to the time. Yeah, punch. I don't want to fuck it up. Oh, I almost fucked it up.
Let's go! Someone order a cocktail? Burning a pack.
What the fuck?
Headed to yellow.
It's honestly glad I didn't boost across the map for that. Yeah, you want to hide in the living room? Yay. Yeah.
I see Rem.
You just upped your survivability by at least 30%.
I'll leave nothing but ash.
Be blessed.
Gotta run. Let's ash him. I'll burn all of you. No one outruns me.
Brings consequences.
I will not be a part of that. She's ticked for over half her fucking health bar, trying to chase us.
Better appreciate all the work you're putting in.
The spirit urn is waiting to be claimed.
Allow the hidden king to open and awake.
Yellow Walker is under attack. Burning Path for your team as you do. Mid boss has arrived.
We just died at the wrong time. Tell you that.
Oh, Billy's one. Kill him. Right behind you. Go kill Billy. Kill him. He's one. I know he's not one anymore.
Damn it. They took out my
Damn, that was tough, bruh. Dang.
On the move. I'm going in. Send this bomb. This will make the fires burn brighter.
You care for your team as you do your students, Professor.
Way to go.
Let's go mid.
Professor is making our enemies bleed.
You guys got it again.
Let's go.
I'll clear this fucking land. Make sure everything's good over here. I need to low key go by.
No one outruns me.
The Rejuvenator is descending.
Try to keep up.
So long as you don't burn down my shop, we're all good.
The Spirit Urn is waiting to be claimed.
It's my time.
How long does that shit last? I'm about to say, bro. Holy fuck. Okay. Believe getting that open. Psych. No, you get this urn though. Caught up. Kind of crazy.
Enemies, Peta.
Let's action. Shit, I'm sorry.
Hirachi. The professor fights with conviction.
Everyone gave it their all.
I never doubted this would be the outcome.